The Treaty of Lausanne by Alessio, Taylor, Naomi, Anna, and myself. Prior to World War I, Turkey was a region of the Ottoman Empire. Ottoman Turkey joined World War I on the side of the Central Powers. Although Turkey was forced to join the war as they were a region of the Ottoman Empire, Turkish people hoped that they would become an independent state following the war. With this, Turkey's main purpose in World War I was fighting on behalf of the Ottoman Empire. However, they wanted to gain independence from the Ottoman Empire, which they hoped to conquer after the progression of the war.
As Kassidy said, Ottoman Turkey fought on the side of the Central Powers, Germany and Austria-Hungary, against the Entente powers, Great Britain, France, Russia, and Serbia. Russia and its allies, Britain and France, declared war on the Ottomans in November 1914. The Ottoman Empire started military action after 3 months of formal neutrality, but it had signed a secret alliance with the Central Powers in August of 1914. Overall, World War I hindered the Ottoman Empire, which included Turkey. Their economy was disrupted by inflation, and this was caused by the influx of precious metals into Europe from the Americas and by an increasing imbalance of trade between East and West. There was also a lack of strong support for the government, Arab nationalism, the alienation of allies, and losing World War I, which all led to the Ottoman downfall.
Originally, the Treaty of Sevres outlined the division of the Ottoman Empire. Many Turkish people were not happy with the terms of the treaty, which led Mustafa Ataturk to lead Turkish nationalists into a war against the armies of the signatories. The Treaty of Lausanne was a peace treaty signed in July of 1923 to stop this conflict. This is significant in itself as it primarily established the Republic of Turkey. This began to lead the people of Turkey to self-determination as shown in this political cartoon. In this cartoon, there's a Turkish man with lots of bananas. These bananas symbolize how Turkish people could control Turkish affairs. Turkish people could restore their privileges, and they would have a secure place in Europe to grow and potentially become a big power.
After the war, Turkey was split into 7 different regions with 16 main points of interest seen on the map. The waterways were open to all shipping, and this included the Black Sea along with the Aegean Sea. This leads into the Treaty of Sevres, which was signed between allies of World War I and the Ottoman Empire. The treaty abolished the Ottoman Empire and obliged Turkey to renounce all rights over Arab Asia and North Asia. The treaty had divided territory between multiple regions, such as France, the UK, Italy, and Greece. The treaty had eventually failed due to the fact that the Kurds had rejected the treaty because the treaty had originally set aside part of Turkey as the Kurdish territory. The treaty had also caused political problems in Turkey, as people who had signed the treaty were stripped of their citizenship.
Now moving on to the Treaty of Lausanne, the question remains whether or not the Treaty of Lausanne was a worthwhile treaty, especially in the long term. This political cartoon run in the British paper The Bystander paints the treaty as a golden goose holding an olive branch. The latter represents the original goal of creating peace within Turkey, but the golden goose is representative of a good thing that if misused may be destroyed very quickly. The egg is rolling in money, aka profit, for all the external parties involved, like the Allies, who were successfully able to avoid another conflict. This cartoon represents the dual nature of this treaty. As Anna mentioned before, it alleviated the harshness of the Sevres, granting Turkish sovereignty. It wasn't without its limits, however, hence the goose. Those freed straits mentioned earlier were still demilitarized and under international supervision. On top of that, tensions between the Turks and the Greeks only worsened, eventually culminating in a series of fighting over the Aegean Sea, also known as the Aegean Dispute. From the perspective of different historians, although many were in favor of the little peace that it brought, they still viewed it as a cop-out of sorts by all parties involved. This was also shared by those in power at the time, as controversial former British Prime Minister Lloyd George called the exchange abject, cowardly, and infamous surrender. Overall, the treaty accomplished what it was meant to in terms of overturning the Treaty of Sevres and finding peace at a surface level, but it didn't go much deeper than that, as the peace achieved was a very unstable one. Thank you.